All right. I just finished another movie called Don't Fuck with Cats Hunting an Internet Killer. So it's 3 episodes. It's a special, but I'm sure it's in movie format as well. I love the way they put it together. The content, it's all right, but I just like the way they put it together. So for that, I give them an 8. Uh, if the theme is like not out of this world interesting because I'm not watching CSI type of things every day, it's not going to get like a 10, but it gets an 8. So if you're interested in a documentary, it's exciting and fun with a good plot and storyline, I highly recommend. Um, it's hard to get into the mind of this killer, but the last 10 minutes sum up the likelihood that this guy, I already forgot his name, like sounds like pinata, Mignata. Uh, yeah, for some reason I'm not built to remember names. I don't know. He basically kills cats, and that gets him famous, but no one knows who he is because he's very good at evasion. He must be very self-conscious, so learn from a young age how to, right? Either that, or he was always conscious about being caught for doing something. It's hard to tell, and I'm sure there are spiritual reasons why, like whatever. Whenever you have an exciting story, it's because there's spiritual reasons why something got away with existing. There had to be specific permission and planning. In this case, it's permission and planning from not people who are involved in righteousness and proper conduct. It's people who are interested in the other side of things, the things that are not so fun and dandy and graceful, but the things that have to do with crime. I think crime, like in this case, the crimes that he did was kind of graceful because evasion is graceful. So in this case, there's like a grace to the crimes, but yeah, like there was a touch of Death Note vibe in there, which is exciting. You have someone being chased. So, and it's uncommon to have someone who's literally chased down, especially in this modern era where everything is recorded. So, you're probably not going to get this very often, which is why it's fun to look at. This was in 2012. Now we have the NSA and mass surveillance increasing since then. So, if people wanted to discover a murderer like this, it's going to happen in Chop Chop. It's not going to, especially since they had this case already. So, they've reinforced it so it doesn't happen in the future. Yeah, behind the scenes, they can do anything. So, so basically, things are moving faster and faster. Where this type of dynamic is already outdated, and if a crime happens in this cyber world today, in a couple years, it's going to be outdated, and all the crimes are going to be outdated because things just are moving faster and faster, perpetually, exponentially. That's the proper word in this context. It just keeps going up at a faster, more and more straight line. And that's been picked up on in the past by very wise people who are older, not old, but they're like in their 70s, not 70s old, but they're the older generation, old din generation there, where they can recognize that as every 10 years things are just faster, and it's perpetually increasing. So if you want to, this movie is relevant, but it's going to be forgotten because different crimes come up, different, it's going to be like an antique situation. So this guy who was trying to be famous, it kind of is in vain because every year is going to minimize his popularity. He's a very vain guy, and he's likely delusional. Yeah, and there's probably something with his mind that makes him not understand reality. Because what happens is the people are not sure if he's making this guy Manny up. Who's this guy Manny? Is he controlling him? So in reality, there's like a devil, right? There's a negative force, and some people they're affected by it consciously, where they hear it, right? So and they get possessed by it. To the point where like it's not them doing the action. So maybe there's some kind of psychosis going on in that regard. which is likely. And what could happen is someone spiritually, the negative energy that's in you could pretend that someone outside is your superior, and what he's doing is just planning that someone gets possessed. And then if you meet him in broad daylight, he may not, the guy who the devil just possessed may not remember that he just pulled a videotape, uploaded it, and then an hour later he's back at home, because that's how possessions work. And so there has to be planning and stuff like that. So it's a possible Manny exists. Spiritually, there is a possibility, but there's also a possibility that there isn't another guy. And that's just how it works, you know? But the movie gets an 8, and out of 5, we get a 4.